July of 2020, I covered the Portland protests, which ended up being part of the Pulitzer package that AP won for Black Lives Matter. How it came about was kind of a little circuitous. I was sitting at home. It was COVID times. I was kind of bored. And there was a fire up in Way, North California on the Oregon border, which is about 6 hours. Nothing huge, but I was watching it. I thought it could become big. And these protests had started in Portland, and there was some wild footage coming out, but people weren't covering it all that much. And mostly it was just COVID, and I needed something to do. So I asked my editor at AP if she was in for, me going up there, check things out, and she said sure. So I got in the car and drove up to Portland. My wife was very COVID phobic and didn't want me to fly or stay in the hotels. So I drove up there and stayed in the car the whole time, which I do often, and it's pretty comfortable. I got to Portland at something at like 9 p.m. and within half an hour, I was in this crazy war scene of, flamethrowers being shot by police and fireworks going off in the sky, and just this crazy scene in downtown Portland where the federal authorities were facing off against protesters. And the shot that I got that's in the Pulitzer package honestly isn't very good. It's kind of a whatever frame of sign burning. I did have better stuff, but that's what made it in. I'm happy to have won. It was also an intense time because I was sleeping in the car, and one of the nights I was covering, my car got broken into and a lot of gear got stolen and the window was broken. And mostly I was working from, I would say about 7 p.m. to 3 or 4 a.m. and then sleeping and then doing it again. So the next day I had to scramble to get the car fixed and replace the gear I needed. The other interesting thing about that was I spent about 5 days outside with protesters at first, and you're being fired upon and hit. I think within the first half hour there, I had 3 police officers or, federal police batoning me, shooting me with rubber bullets deliberately and macing me in the face. When they knew I was press, I had the press pass up. It wasn't a contentious, moment. So I spent 5 days outside with the protesters, and you kind of see these federal forces as unhuman. I mean, they come out, they're fully geared, you can't see their faces. And then after 5 or 6 days, our national crime AP reporter got us inside with the feds for 2 nights. So we actually went inside the courthouse and spent 2 nights with them. And then from there, then you can kind of see their perspective, and you're hanging out with them. They're normal guys. They're saying, I didn't join to go attack civilians. I'm here. I believe in protecting the courthouse. I believe in my job. And then you look at them watching the protesters, and you can kind of see the reverse side where they seem like the normal people and the other side doesn't. So again, falling into the 2 sides thing, it's really interesting. And I'm not affecting my coverage by that, but it's just being able to see how there are, views on both sides that are not just the extreme view is pretty interesting. The head of the marshals there we sat down with had said, look, I came here from Florida because I thought it would be a chill way to end my career. This isn't what I want to be doing. I don't want to be, using firepower on civilians protesting, but I'm going to do it. It's my job. So that was pretty fascinating and pretty good example of being able to cover something objectively and, appreciate that there are multiple sides. At the time, it was just such a loaded scene. I mean, the eyes of the nation were on it, and it just seemed crazy that this was going off in downtown Oregon. And I'm really thankful that AP got us inside for that. I think it was awesome.